Hello the class. In this video, I will work with all of you to explore the remote virtual machine in the cloud. First, I would like to congratulate all of you that you have successfully set up the remote virtual machine in the cloud. Here we have created a project named ADTA 5240. Okay. And in this project, we also created a new Hadoop and Spark cluster, and we name it as ADTA 5240 cluster. Okay. I guess that you have done the same things. You may name the project and the cluster whatsoever as you want. You don't have to name the project and the cluster as I did. And I say again, you can name the project and the cluster whatsoever as you want. It doesn't matter. Now let's get some information about the new cluster that we have created. Here is the names, and you see right away beside it there is an icon with a check. The color is green. It means that this cluster is running. Okay, because we see it right here, and at the end of the banner to the right we can see it, the status of it is running. So it's good, it's right. The next one we can see it, that is the region and the zone that we have set up this cluster. It means the real server, the remote server is running in this region. That is the US Central 1, and the zone, the cloud zone where the remote server is running, it is US Central 1A. We configure this thing to remember that when we create the cluster. And this cluster has two worker nodes. How about the master node? You remember that it has one master node, and that is default. This cluster also is connected to a cloud bucket, and its name is ADTA-5240-bucket. With bucket, it means that's a kind of storage. It's the cloud storage. Thus, this storage will be used with this project. Yes. Okay. And right now with this cluster, we connect to it so that we can use it. Okay. And those are some details that we can see right away. That associated with the cluster that we have created. Okay. Okay, now we want to see the virtual machine, or we call the instances of this cluster. You remember that we can click on this one, and this one we call the product and services icon. Okay, that is the you see the three horizontal bars right here, and we click on that, we will see a menu, a drop-down menu. We can hover our mouse on compute engine. You see it? Yeah, we can click right there. And what we see here is the three nodes. Yes, the master, the worker number 1, the worker number 2. It has index 0, but that is the worker number 1. Index 1, that is worker number 2. Okay. And exactly as we have configured the cluster is right. Now we want to connect to the cluster. Okay. And there is a technology we call SSH that we can use to connect to or to access the cluster. And to connect to or to access the cluster, we will use the technique called SSH to connect to the master node of the cluster. So what is the SSH technique? The term or the acronym stands for Secure Shell. Okay. It means we can use this technique to connect or access securely to a remote computer. This technique originally from the Unix operating systems. Yes. This is the second version that is enhanced from the first version. The first version is not secure, but this one is secure. And this thing is very, very popular. Actually, this is used everywhere right now, okay? To connect to or to access the some remote computers. Okay, and in this case, we use this technique to connect our local computer to the cluster master node. And the cluster master node, actually, that is a remote virtual machine or remote server. Okay, let's do it now. Okay, you see these three letters, SSH right here. Beside it, there is an arrow. Click on it. You will see a menu, and here are several options to choose. Open in browser window, open in browser window on custom port, so on, so on. Okay. What does it mean by open in browser window? It means that when we do a connection, a SSH connection to a remote computer, normally we need to use a terminal. A terminal, it means that a window. Yes, you will see it, a window. And now the system asks us, what do we want when we do SSH to the cluster master node? Do we want to open it in a browser window? Of course, we want to do it that way. Okay. So let's select it. The first one is right. Okay. Remember here we see several options, but let's select the first one. Let's click on it. Okay, here now you see it. Yes, it is a terminal, an SSH terminal has been opened for us right here. And before the terminal shows up, you remember that the system tried to connect from our local computer to the remote server. Is right? And actually, there are some kind of authentication and then shaking hand to verify everything, so that it means the system, the remote server, can accept our request and open this window. Okay, we call it a terminal, an SSH terminal. Okay, it means whatever we type or we do in this terminal, actually it will run in the remote server. Even it show up in the monitor connected to our local computer. Okay, it's nice, right? What we see, what we do, what we type, what we run, right here. You see it? Yes. Right there in our monitor. The monitor connected to either, that is the monitor of our laptop, notebook, or the monitor is an external monitor connected to our local desktop computer. However, actually what really happened is in the remote server. Yes, it's nice. Okay, and you see that it's very simple. We actually, to finish this one, a lot of steps need to be done. However, by using the secure shell, or we say SSH shell, provided by GCP, we can do it right away. Okay, now I just made the font of the terminal, the font display on the terminal, some bigger so that for all of you can easily see it. Okay, and you see right here, the first line, they get connected and host fingerprint SSH RSA. This is, we call it the key file that the system has used to connect our computer, our local computer, to the remote server. Okay, and I would like to, of course, that is a technique, another technique that SSH used to perform the authentication. Okay, this is the key. It shows us for us to see it. As I already said, by using the SSH shell feature of GCP, we don't have to know about it. It takes everything for us. That is, I think that is very nice. We only need to click on, you remember the menu, we click on it and it takes everything for us. Okay. And now the next slide is a Linux ADTA 5240 cluster M, mean the master node of our cluster, is right? Okay. And it shows some details about our system. This system use an AMD 64. It means that our remote server uses an AMD CPU, not Intel, is right? And that chip is 64-bit. Use the 64. Okay. That is for the hardware. It means the main CPU, the main chip, is right. Now next, the operating system. The operating system is Debian. It means a flavor or a kind of Linux distribution named Debian. It is very popular. Okay, next there is some text here that says the programs included with the Debian GNU Linux system are free software. It means that the operating system used for our remote server is open source. And then next, it says something about warranty, and that's all. Now, we need to talk about this. Okay. This is very important. We need to know the detail of this. And you see it here? This is my user ID. I use this user ID as my Google account to create the Google Cloud Platform account and then use it when I create the project. Okay, it means the project that I create for this account. Okay, then this is the name of the cluster. Yes. You should see here your user's ID that you use to create your GCP account. Yes. And this should be the name of your cluster. Okay. You should not see the same if you name your cluster differently. Okay. And what does it say here? It says that currently the user ID this currently logs in and use the system in this SSH terminal. Okay. And now we already knew that the operating system of our remote server, the master node, the worker nodes of the cluster, running on the Linux operating system. And we want to explore our system a bit before we really work with them, before we really use them. Okay, so that we can have some idea about them, is right? Therefore, in the next video, I will discuss with you some basic features of Linux, especially some Linux command lines that we can use to explore our system. Okay, and we will do that in the next video. And that's all for this one.